Hey guys, what's going on? I want to cover the Bullseye pick of the week. This last week it was Snow Calls, kind of kind of Christmassy, right? We're getting on for Christmas, and it was Snow, SNOW, is the ticker, and that was the Bullseye pick of the week. So it was a fantastic call. I think I had several people message me and say how well they did on it, and that's really good because recently the Bullseye trades have been a bit hard to trade, just because they tend to take off really, really quickly, which, like Jeff pointed out, is a good problem to have. You're picking really strong momentum, and that's the idea. However, it's not so good if you're somebody who sets an order for what Jeff suggests, which tends to be a bit on the low side, and then you miss the whole trade. It runs 200%, and then you're left going like, this service sucks type of thing. So I still highly recommend it. I've done my full review of it. You guys that watch the channel have probably seen this review by now, so you can come here. I'll put a link in the description below, and I have the best possible prices in here, so you can get the best possible price that is available for Jeff's trades if you click on these links. Then I also have a full track record. It's actually fallen behind a couple of weeks. I'll need to keep updating it. Some amazing winners, but you've had to chase a lot, is what I was saying. So it was like this 700% winner, but you'd have had to chase at the market open. And so I've been searching for another service, so I just wanted to briefly mention the service that I found. It is so far, and it's only been a week, but it's a different type of trading, so it's not so much momentum based that Jeff's are. And so that'll be helpful, right? Because hopefully you can get as good, if not better, prices than the person alerting the trade. And that service is called Profit Surge Trader. And it's by a guy called Nate Bear, who's really well known in the trading world for turning 37,000 into 2.7 million in 3 to 4 years. So he's fantastic. I really like him. He does a live stream every Monday, so it's a very similar service to Bullseye, where he'll do like one trade a week. You do get some bonus trades sometimes, but the main key trade is like a week hold starting on a Monday, and it's a live session, so you get to ask him questions, but he also emails it and has an app for it as well. So really good. People are loving it. We did Target this last week. Again, this link will be in the description below where you can read the full review. I'm doing the same thing with Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader as I am with Bullseye Trades. So I'm keeping a track record of all the trades, I think down here somewhere, as well as explaining some thoughts on his strategy. So it's a totally different strategy than Bullseye Trades, and I think that's why we're able to get in to some of the trades a bit better. So I've done some videos. They're on the channel, but they're also inside this article in the description below as well. So I did put a chart in here, so you can see like this week from Nate Bear on Monday was target calls, and we had a really nice dip, and then this thing just ripped to the upside. So people weren't left chasing this thing. It was easy to get a price better than Nate's. And I know some people that got in down here and made 100, 200% or so on this move up, so they were really happy with that. So just another alternative service at the moment, something that you guys might want to consider. It's a very similar service to Bullseye Trades, except the strategy is completely different, but it's that idea of one swing trade every Monday. So in fact, it's even more interesting than that, and it's one earnings winner, so in this case Target, for the whole month of December, but with an individual trade every Monday on that. So looking at the technicals, whether it's going to go up more, go down more, what calls to use, what puts to use. Really interesting. Very good trader. It's actually, at the moment, I'm preferring it to Bullseye, and it's a very low cost service as well. So I think it's something worth checking out. I'll leave a link to this in the description below, where you can get access to a webinar that here, which was really interesting with Nathan, and also an actual purchase page here. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. I think you'll really like it, especially if you're getting frustrated with Bullseye Trades just taking off without you, which I know a lot of people are. If you've not joined the Facebook group, make sure you come and join my How to Make Money from Stock Alert Services Facebook page. We talk about all sorts of stuff. We do polls, like here's a recent poll on an algo system, and things, and we try and like help each other with ideas of different services and things. I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. Alright, on to Snow. So here's the email from Jeff on Monday. And he's saying, things have been absolutely on fire with Bullseye, which is why I've been surprised to see people saying how bad the service is. There's not many people saying it, but I've seen a few people going, oh, it's terrible. And it's because, like I said, these things are taking off fast, and people get very mad at that, even though in reality it just kind of shows that Jeff had the right idea. It's just harder to trade those. So let me see, the final tally on these AFRM calls was astounding 2,300%. I logged it as 700% in my blog post. Let's see if that makes an idea look weak. Only 150% potential on CVNA. Just looking through. This is like him giving a summary of the last few weeks. And people get mad because they'll look at that and they'll go, he didn't really get that. That wasn't possible. It's like, yeah, he's just kind of showing what would have happened. Like, it's not... Just because you don't get an entry doesn't mean that that's not what happened. But people are like, that is disingenuous and things like... I don't know. I feel like stocks get away from you, and just because they do and you mention it in your newsletter doesn't necessarily mean you're being disingenuous. Anyway, I like Jeff and I like Bullseye, so I'm probably a bit biased here. Okay, so there is one that I'm giving the edge to, however, this week. It says Snowflake. So he also does 11 a.m. live session calls, similar to what I was talking about Nate Bear does. And so I cover everything in the 11 a.m. live session. Make sure you attend. Today my plan is to open up a new position with snow calls, hopefully near my target entry price. I'm not too worried about getting the exact price, but I want to get close to my target entry. I think this is because he's starting to see that people are getting mad about not getting in. So he's starting to say, look, the exact price is not that important. His thesis on the trade is what is important. And maybe he's starting to get frustrated too. In fact, I saw some comments from him that he is getting frustrated that he's not getting into these things because he's just trying to be a little too, like, not greedy, but like careful. So anyway, I'd like to save a little room to add to this trade if Snow has a slight dip, maybe to the 188 level where I would add more contracts. I'm going to keep a tight leash on this trade if I see that Snow is going close to under 186. Alright, so here is the calls. So 195 calls for, it was about 2 weeks out when he did this, so yeah, close under 186, target 198. Okay, so let's look and see what happens. So Monday on the left here, this is Snow, this is a 5-minute chart. Monday on the left here, you can see what this is the thing that people get mad about, right? So immediately out of the gates, so this is the open. So this bar right here is the open. Immediately big move up and can all the way up to here. And that's 196, right? So if we look at what he said, the target is 198. So people that are not on the ball or, you know, interested in this style of trading are just going to be like, oh, this sucks, and then forget about it. But look what happened then. This pulled all the way back down. All the way back down here to 190, even lower, 189 were some of the wicks. So if we look at the here, 186 was the stop. So we're getting a big range, and I think that's another thing that gets people mad is that these are very volatile, and they have to be. If you want to make 100%, 200%, or 2300% like one of them, they're going to have to be volatile, and it shakes a lot of people out. It freaks them out, and it's understandable. But the stop was still significantly below that, and remember it's a close beneath that stop as well. So the stop was way down here. Kind of thing. So this was the stop down here. You can see we never really got close. I can zoom out a bit more again here. Kind of. Oh, can't work trading view. Alright. So. Alright, so you can see that the target was hit on the 198, which is up here, and that was on Thursday, 198, so it hit the target. We go back to this thing here, target 1 is 198, target 2 is 208, 208 didn't hit, but it got up to 202 quickly. So pretty cool, so very easy trade. The problem is, and I keep coming back to this because it's one of the reasons I'm looking for other services, not just for me, but for you guys as well, is we've had weeks of this thing just taking off and never pulling back, so people have tuned out, and I see that with a lot of services, that the once there's like either losses or the trades are not tradable, they just tune out and move on to something else. And then 3 or 4 weeks go by and there's some really great trades, and in their head the service is terrible, but in reality it was just a period of, whatever problem there was. So yeah, this week was back to where it was, and the whole of 2022 was like this, where it would run up, it'd pull back by the Tuesday morning, you get like a really good entry, and then let it run into Thursday, and that was the pattern the whole of 2022. And that's when a lot of people joined under my recommendations and stuff. So this is what I want to see, like, every week. Don't jump on it immediately. You wait for a pullback on the Tuesday, even late Monday. If you guys that have been trading this for a while, this is what we want to see. The problem is, I didn't trade this, and most other people wouldn't have traded it either, because all the other ones were taken off straight out of the gates and never looking back, and people just go, oh, it sucks, I'm moving on. So anyway, that's Snow. The contracts doubled, I think. So yeah, if we look here, the contracts, this was the Monday. You could get in for like 3. This just is a really sort of rough looking graph. Like, they don't have my data points, so you could get in for 3 and out for like 7.5. So pretty nice overall. This is the Thursday. Pretty good. Yeah. So that was Snow. Target was the one that Nathan Bear did, which I really liked. It was easier. He alerted around here somewhere, and then it really did just like sell off until rising support. I did a video on this the other day, so hopefully you guys saw that. And my plan with this, and I did trade it with a bit bigger size than I normally trade things with. Must have been feeling confident because Nathan Bear is such an awesome guy. But you can see during it, I drew in like a trend support line. Really simple, just trend support line. So when we pulled back, like, I knew that if we didn't hold here and started to sell off, I'd probably stop out pretty quickly. Luckily, we did just dip it, but this is very rough. With any support lines, often you'll get like chop around them. So you don't want to stop out immediately on a break of them, in my opinion, especially for these volatile swing trades. So this one, I did it kind of, just eyeballed it, kind of went through the sort of average, and almost perfectly bounced right off here, just went straight up here, and people made bank. So it was good. It was really good. So both worked out, and I've had messages from people in both services saying, wow, Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader worked and Snow worked this week. Thanks very much for the recommendations of these services, and that always makes me happy. So anyway, I'll leave all the links in the description below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.